Hi, and welcome to this demo of WakeSys for aqua. What we're looking at right now is the landing page on WakeSys for your aqua booking system. So how would customers actually get to this page? Well, on your own website, you probably have somewhere in your navigation a sign up button or a buy tickets online now. And if the customer clicks on that button, he gets redirected to this page here. So this page here would obviously have your logo, your background image, or background color. We would try to use this color scheme that you're using for your park that really feels like your own system. First thing that you can show them is an announcement, for instance, a COVID announcement or anything specifically that they should know for your park. Then they can start booking as a guest, they can create a new account, they can log in if they're registered, and they can even buy gift cards without having to register. So in our case here, we would like to book a session on the aqua park, and we will probably just go here and start booking as a guest. And then it shows us the different options that we have at this park. So we can book aqua park sessions, we can book summer camps and lake rentals. We are for this demo going to just go through aqua park, but the process for summer camps and lake rentals would be exactly the same as we're going to see in aqua park. Once we choose aqua park, we get to the next page where we get to choose the number of participants. And this is also a page where you could directly deep link to. So if you have on your website a sub page for aqua park, you could put a button on that page with a link to this page here, and the customers would not have to choose the pages that we saw before. So if we choose 3 people, the system's now just going to show dates where it could still go for 3 people. This is in big contrast to some other booking platforms where you choose the date first and then afterwards have to select your number of participants, and then the system might tell you, hey, we're sorry, but we don't have that many seats available this day, please choose another day. And then the customer has to go back and forth, which is really annoying. We also have different views for this page. So in Europe, this page here is pretty common where we show per week, but if you prefer calendar view, that's possible too. So we're going to say we're going today. So we're going to select that date, and then it's going to show us the sessions that are still available. In here, we can show high to low availability, or we can show the number of sessions or seats that are still available within an hour. So we're going to choose the session from 12 till 1, and we can also select multiple sessions if we like to at once. So it isn't, again, in contrast to some other booking systems where you'd have to do a different booking for every single session you want to go onto the park. Next thing, the system is going to ask whether we are a registered customer or whether we are not. So in our case, we're not. And then the system asks for our personal information. So one cool thing here is that the system will pre-check on general types of email addresses just to make sure that emails actually get delivered. So here I forgot an amp.com, so it's going to recommend me, hey, did you mean this one here? Or if I would, for instance, write gmail.com, it would ask me, hey, did you mean gmail.com? So all this is important because if a customer doesn't receive his confirmation mail, he will probably call you, and you have then to figure out what went wrong. And it just takes a bunch of time to clarify and everything with the customer. So then we ask for first name and last name. We ask for the date of birth of the customer. And in general, in the system, only customers aged 18 and older can register. If a customer with 17 years or younger tries to register, the system would say, hey, you're too young to register, please have an adult sign up for you. If the customer then changes his birthday to being an adult, we will flag that account. And when the customer comes to the park and tries to check in, it will tell the person working the cash register, hey, this customer actually tried to sign up with a different birthday. So you can then ask him for some ID. So in general, at WakeSys, we would always try to foresee any issues and try to figure that out before the customer gets to your park. And if he's at the park, to let you know, hey, something might be wrong or weird with that customer so that you can anticipate any problems. Next, we recommend a phone number and an emergency contact just in case something happens to the customer who you could call to let them know that something happened. And then we choose a password. Finally, we accept the terms and conditions if we have any. And on the next page, we're going to have the customer sign the release of liability. And we always do that, even though that customer here might not even be a participant of that group of three, but just the chances are really high that this customer is actually one of the parents of the kids that are going to come. So if the mom gets hurt at the park by, I don't know, falling down the stairs or something, it's just better to have a waiver on her too than not having any information on her altogether. So we're going to put in our information here. We're going to sign that. And on the next page, we are ready to pay. So the system's going to show us our grand total. So $60. Now we have different payment options. So here we're going to say we're just going to pay by credit card. And if we like, we can also save our credit card for future bookings. So that means the customer, when he books the next time, he can just reselect that. Or if the customer wants to buy something at the cash register, that credit card can also be charged. Once we've paid, two things are going to happen. First thing, obviously, we're going to get a booking confirmation in WakeSys explaining us what's next. So, hey, please, in the next step, add your participants to the booking. If they're not family members, please invite them via email or invitation link. And at the same time, the system will also send an email to the host, so us, showing, hey, here's your booking code and registration, but please, these are all the things that you need to do. So we basically have two choices. Like either we send this invitation link to our friends and family if we did a booking for them, or if we just want to go with our own family, we can also add our own family members by ourselves. So that's all done on this page here. So this is our grand overview of the booking that we just did with all the information. We can cancel the booking from here. We can add more tickets to the same reservation. So we don't have to do another reservation if we're now 4 people instead of 3. We can change the invitation text. So for instance, if it's my daughter's birthday party, I can write an invitation text here to explain all the parents, like at which time we're meeting, at what time the cake's going to be, and what time the parents should come pick them up. Then we could also invite my daughter's parents to this reservation via invitation link, or we can invite them via email, or if we're doing this booking over our smartphone, which more than 70% of customers already do, we also have the option to invite other participants via Facebook Messenger, via WhatsApp, and via text. The other cool thing about inviting other participants via email is that we will actually track the emails until they arrive at the customer's inbox. So if the host puts in an email that doesn't actually work, we will notify the host and saying, hey, buddy, the person that you tried to invite doesn't have a valid email address, so please check in to your WakeSys and try another email address. So we'll just let that wait. Maybe pop in here quickly into my email address, and here we already have the email saying, hey, email delivery failed. We just wanted to let you know that this email address doesn't work. And if the host would now click here on view booking, it would directly lock him into his WakeSys account, and he wouldn't have to re-enter an email address or password, because those are things that customers tend to forget, especially if they only come once or twice a year and they come back next year, they might not even remember the password. So for our case, one other cool thing is if you invite a customer in here that has an account already in WakeSys, they can click on that invitation, be directly logged into their account as well, and add their participants to the booking. So again, the invited person with an email with an account with WakeSys doesn't have to log in at all either. So for our case here, we're going just with my own family. So I already have myself to select. And next, I want to add some more family members. So I'm going to add my wife first. And then in the process here, we make it very clear who should accept those terms and conditions. So we make it very explicit that it's Jessica who should accept the terms and conditions and not me. And on the next page, with the waiver, the same thing. Hey, print the full name of Jessica. So Jessica's full name would be Laura. And then we also say here, hey, Jessica, please sign below. So that's just a little detail to make sure that people read. And that's something that oftentimes customers tend not to do, but we try to be very explicit about who does what in the system. So we're going to add our wife. And then the next thing, we're going to add our underage daughter. And again, here we try to pay a lot of attention that customers cannot do bad mistakes. So first, we just show birthdays that are under the age of 18. Then we put in the birthday. Let's do older. On the next page, we say, hey, you, well, basically me, I'm accepting for Annick. So it's not Annick, my daughter, who's accepting the terms and conditions, but it's me for her. And on the next page, same thing, print the full name of the legal guardian of Annick. And given that customers tend to not really read, like if you put in the name of Annick in it here, it's going to tell us, hey, you entered the name of the child, please put in the name of the legal guardian. So we try again to anticipate issues that customers could have in the process and have them fix that by themselves ahead of time. Voilà. Once I've added Anik, I can now quickly add her to the booking as well. And now the system's going to send me also an email. So the scenario here is pretty easy because we just added all our family members ourselves. So I can click here and issue a fast pass, and I'll get to that in a second. But that email that the system's sending is a bit cooler because you might invite your friends and family or friends for your daughter's birthday party. And once all the participants have joined, the system's actually going to send the host an email saying, hey, everybody's joined. Please check the list of participants. And if everything's correct, you can issue a fast pass. And the fast pass is best comparable with the ticket that you receive from your airline to go to the check-in at the airport. So it just sends you an email with a QR code or a barcode. So here I'm just going to issue that fast pass now, which is going to send that fast pass to all participants. So if I go back to my email address here, I can see the fast pass for my whole family. So basically here we're all done. Like we could cancel our booking ourselves. We could add more tickets for more participants, but this is generally it. And I just want to show you how easy it is once you're registered in the system to book another session. So we're just going to go buy a ticket, Aqua Park Orlando. We're going to book for us 3. We want to go on Thursday, anytime, maybe just 2 sessions. We're on the checkout page. We select our credit card that we saved, and we're done. The system's directly going to send us our fast passes because we don't have any other participants. So it's really, really easy for your customers to come back and buy another session. Yeah, I can even export my booking to my calendar to have a reminder. Okay, so I'm going to log out here from the cash register, and then we're going to have a look at the whole check-in experience. So now the day of our Aqua Park session, there's going to be 3 different scenarios for people that will show up at our park. So we will have the customers that have done everything and that have their fast pass, and obviously those are the easiest ones. Then the second group is going to be people that have already a reservation code, but that might not have signed up online already. So for instance, me inviting my daughter's friends for a birthday party, 9 out of 10 people might have done everything, and then I have 1 person who didn't do anything. But that's not a problem either. As long as they know their booking code or the name of the host, it's all easy to find. And then the last case is people that drive by, they see the park and say, hey, this is cool, we want to try. So they didn't book anything. And we're going to look now at all of those 3 scenarios. So here we're logged into a cash register. So we're going to go down to our bookings overview, where we have all the events of today. So now for the simplest of all events, we have a customer that comes with their fast pass. We scan the QR code, and then it's automatically going to open up that reservation. You saw that it also was highlighted that it's easy to find. So here I can now see, okay, all the information, Chris 34, then I could see the person's waiver, and I actually have to validate it. So I cannot check the person in unless I validated that waiver. So here we're going to validate and approve, and then I can check the person in. So then here we have Jessica, and the system highlights her name because her name's different from the one that was entered in the system. So it's just that we tell the staff, or we should like to show the staff that this is a bit different than what the customer put in. So we can ask, hey, Jessica Laura, is that your middle name? Yeah, that's my middle name, and then it's probably fine. The other thing that the system will do, it will highlight if the person that signed the waiver is different from any of the adults assigned to um, the account. So if here, I don't know, Anna Hilbert would have signed, it would be red too. But if Jessica Hilbert or Chris Hilbert would have signed, like here, it will be gray. But anyways, like let's say if we don't like the signature here of Jessica, so we want to reject her waiver. And in almost any other system, you'd have to send the customer out to some waivers back there. So the customer has to go back, and then has to come back forth. So he has to, customer has to bypass people waiting in line. So it creates friction that you don't want to have at the park. So that's why we have an iPad in front of the cash register, well, basically just in front of the staff person, where customers can re-sign their waiver. So that waiver, that iPad looks like this. And once I click here on sign again, that iPad's going to load the waiver of the customer, and the customer can directly sign that waiver again without having to go back to a waiver and redo her waiver. She can just basically sign it there. Once she's signed, it's automatically going to reload my page here, and I can validate and approve and check in. And the same thing, I'm going to approve my the daughter's waiver as well. And once I check her in, that reservation here goes green because it makes then the whole overview a bit easier. So that's the easiest of all scenarios. Then the second scenario would be a group of people coming and one person still missing. So let's just quickly add a ticket here to highlight that. So yeah, I just checked in and I actually have another friend who's coming. Can we add her to the booking? Yeah, sure, no problem. So we're adding another person to my booking. And then we go off to the water because our friend, he's a bit late. Yeah, so we're just going to close that booking here for now. And then we're going to go over to our iPads. So now our friend, he finally arrives 10 minutes later and he comes to the cashier and says, oh, I'm here with Chris and his wife and his daughter. What do I need to do to get onto the water? Oh, okay, sir, have you been here before? Is this your first time? Oh, it's actually my first time. Okay, sure, no problem. Like we have a couple of iPads over there. If you please don't mind going over there and signing up. So now the customer goes to the iPads, selects their language, says we'd like to register. So we're going to say, hey, an adult. And we're just going to sign the person up. And for this scenario here, we're just going to put in a young to age just to see what the system would do with that. Okay, so here it says, hey, you're too young to fill this in. And then I'm smart, I'm just going to change my age, and then the system lets me. Accept the terms and conditions, sign the waiver on the next page. And then the system also asks, hey, would you like to add, oh yeah, in this scenario, because we say we're just going to register an adult, it doesn't ask. But in the process where we'd add children to it, like we can easily do that from the process here as well. So we're going to go back here now to the reservation. So maybe Anton, he only knows that I'm in the 12 o'clock session. So I can go in here, I would see all the names, or I can even look for Hilbert in the search bar, and it would look up for all the reservation for Hilbert. So here we have now add participant, and it will automatically show me the people that just signed up on the iPad. So I don't have to ask them, how do I write that, or what's your name? But I can assume like, hey, are you Anton? Yes, I am. So I'm going to select him. And now I can see here, hey, attention, the customer tried to sign up with a wrong date. And now I can ask him, hey, did you do a mistake? Well, I guess you can tell whether a person's 31 or under 18. But if everything's fine, that's okay. If not, then we say, hey, buddy, I'm sorry, like I can't let you on the water unless your parents sign a waiver for you. So anyways, let's say everything's fine. We're going to approve his waiver and check him in. So that's already two of our main scenarios done. The last scenario is family that stops by and said, hey, this is really cool. we would like to go on the aqua park as well. Well, again, we're going to sign them over to the waivers. Quickly going to sign up a family. So we are going to be a family. Sorry. We want to sign up children. Then the system said, hey, please, you need to sign up as the legal guardian first. So we're going to quickly do that. Mary. Oops. Then on the next page, it will ask me, hey, would you like to add any family members? Yes, in fact, I do. I want to add my daughter. And then on the waiver, we make it again very clear who's accepting terms and conditions for whom. So it's the mom that's accepting for her daughter. And then also the waiver, same thing. Maria, Laura, and you accept. Maybe let me put in here Chris, Laura, just to show you what the system would show then afterwards. So we're not going to add any other children here. So we're done. And then the app would say, hey, thank you. You can now go to the next cash register. So we're going over to our next to the cash register, and we have Maria and her daughter walking up and asking, hey, we'd like to go on the aquapark, like which time could we go? I say, hey, it's only 11:40. If you like, I can still put you into the 12 p.m. session. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to go here, add a new booking, and it's going to directly show me the people again that just signed up on the iPads. So I'm just going to select Maria, and then the system will also figure out that Maria and her daughter are one account. So I can ask, hey, is it just going to be you, or is it going to be both of you? Oh, it's actually going to be both of us, and maybe one other person's joining later, and I want to pay for her as well. Okay, fine. So it's going to be 3 people. And then that's going to make it $60. So we're going to pay that. And once we've paid, we can go directly back to the check-in. So we don't have to look up that reservation anymore. It's just going to simply go back to that reservation. So we don't have to look up and waste any valuable time. So here we have now Maria. We validate her waiver and check in. And then we can see here, Chris Laura. It's a different name than the legal guardian. So now we can ask, hey, who's Chris? Oh, it's actually the dad. Oh, okay, that's fine. And then we approve and check in. So all in all, it's very, very simple. Maybe to put everything a bit in context, where is WakeSys going to be a good solution for you, and where is it not going to be such a good solution for you? WakeSys is a very good solution if you try to push off as much work as possible towards your customers, so that customers arrive at your park and they've done everything. They've booked, they've paid, they've signed up, they've signed their waiver, and they've invited all their friends and family and any other participant to their reservation, so that when they arrive, they just show a QR code and you can check them in quickly. The advantage of that is obviously you can move a lot of people through your cash register, your check-in desk at a really high speed. And be a lot more efficient at your park. Whereas WakeSys is not going to be so good, well, if the only thing that you're trying to do is just simply selling a ticket, have the customer pay, and send them an email with confirmation, that is where we obviously cannot compete. So if you look at other systems like Fair Harbor or Roller, these are very easy to use systems where you can add products to your shopping cart, put in a credit card, receive an email with a waiver, and then the day of the event or the day of the aquapark, the customer arrives, and your staff has to match customer names to the waivers, and that's where, in our opinions, mistakes happen. If you have a Peter Miller in the system, I'm sure you're going to have hundreds of them within 2-3 years, and it's going to be really hard for your staff to find the right waiver for the right person. So in our philosophy, like we try to not have our staff do any mistakes. So, but to really link every single person with their right waiver directly to a reservation, and then make the check-in experience really, really fast. The other advantage here is obviously that customers can reuse their accounts as well to do future bookings. And we have parks that have as high as 20% returning customers on the aqua park, and which is really, really good in comparison to some other parks that that are not on WakeSys, where we know some numbers of. Another cool thing that WakeSys will do for you is send a reminder email to the customers the day before, saying, "Hey, you have an aquapark session tomorrow at 12. So far, only 6 out of 8 people have done or have joined your reservation. Here's a list of the current participations. Please let the other 2 missing people know that they should register as well, because otherwise you can't receive a fast pass, which will slow down your whole check-in experience." So this puts a psychological pressure on the host to invite to call the other 2 people, say, "Hey buddy, I don't want to wait in line just because you didn't want to sign up or anything." So again, this leads to you having a faster check-in experience. Last but not least, at the end of each day, WakeSys can also send an email to your customers asking, "Hey, hey, thank you for visiting today. On a scale from 0 to 10, would you recommend our aquapark to friends and family or colleagues?" And if they give you a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, they get redirected to a page within their WakeSys saying, "Hey, thank you so much for that. Would you mind leaving a review for us on Facebook, TripAdvisor, or Google?" If the customer gives you a 6 or 7 out of, a 7 or 8 out of 10, he'll be directed to yet another page saying, "Hey, so sorry, thank you for that. Which are the things that we could improve that in the future you would give us a 9 or 10?" And then they have some free text. Once they put that in, that gets emailed to you so you can improve your processes. And last but not least, anybody that gives you a 0 or 0 to 6 out of 10 will be redirected to yet another page saying, "Hey, we're so sorry that we messed up. Would you mind us giving you a call to listen what went bad and how we can make it up to you?" And then the customer just chooses yes or no. And again, you receive an email saying, "Hey, please give this customer a call. Like, they had a pretty bad experience." So the general idea about that is obviously get the happy customers out there into the open on social media, whereas getting the unhappy customers back to you that you can improve on whatever you need to improving. At the end of the day, we try at WakeSys to build a system that has a 360-degree approach towards how aquaparks work. Is it the best solution for every park? No, it's not. It really depends on which kind of booking system you want to have, and that is based on how you want to run your operations. That's already everything that there is to know about the system. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a short email, and then we'll gladly answer any questions and even make you public demo with all your prices, your logo, etc., so you can try out the system just like it would be yours. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.